Good afternoon. Welcome to the news at 2 on OGTV. Doyinsola Ogunbadewa is my name. You can watch us live on Facebook at Ogun TV and Ogun State Television, or YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta and OGTV website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, check us on these platforms. On X at Ogun TV, on Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download OGTV app on Apple Play Store. The Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority has cautioned the international airlines on the increase in complaints from passengers who are transported halfway to their destination, only to be deported back to Nigeria. The SCAA condemned the practice, emphasizing that it has led to considerable distress for passengers and damaged the reputation of Nigeria's aviation industry. The SCAA Director of Consumer Protection and Public Affairs, Michael Achiwogo, announced this in a statement on Thursday. The SCAA stressed that airlines are responsible for informing passengers of any potential obstacles to their entry before their journey begins. The Edo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, sitting in Abuja, has upheld the election of Governor Monday Okpebholo of All the Progressives Congress (APC). The tribunal, in a unanimous decision by a three-member panel, said it found no reason to nullify the outcome of the governorship contest held in the state on September 21st, 2024. Chairman of the tribunal, Justice Wilfred Pochi, delivered the judgment dismissed as lacking in merit a petition the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and its candidate Aseren Ighodalo filed to challenge the declaration of Governor Okpebholo as the valid winner of the gubernatorial poll. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) had declared that Okpebholo of the APC secured a total of 291,667 votes to defeat his closest rival, Ighodalo of the PDP, who got a total of 247,655 votes. Dissatisfied with the result, the PDP and its candidate approached the tribunal, alleging that the election was not conducted in substantial compliance with provisions of the Electoral Act 2022. The Ogun State Governors Elders Advisory Council has commended President Bola Tinubu for adopting Tasha Lari University of Education (TASUD) as a federal tertiary institution. The council also commended Governor Dapo Abiodun for initiating the moves that led to the federal government's takeover of the foremost institution. They called on the federal government to retain the name of the institution as it is, stating that the name was carefully chosen to honor an educationist of high repute in the country. A motion that to this effect was raised by Chief Dikpo Akingbade and seconded by Dr. Rashid Adenusi. The council also commended Governor Dapo Abiodun for initiating the moves that led to the federal government's takeover of the foremost institution. The council, through another member, Alhaji Bisi Quadri, also moved a motion that was seconded by Chief Igba Otemolu on the need to appreciate Governor Abiodun for his tenacity in continuously ensuring that road networks in the state are improved. The motion appreciated the governor for speeding the recently approved 11 roads across the three senatorial districts of the state. The council commended Abiodun for approving the recruitment of 500 additional Amatekun personnel to help bolster security in the state. To assess the impact of its skills development programs generate data driven for policy refinement, the Enhanced Future Initiatives, the Ogun State Economic Transformation Projects, OG STEP, has commenced the second phase of its research study. In his opening remarks, the chairman of the OG STEP Projects Technical Committee, And Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Mr. Olaolu Olabento, highlighted that since Oakstep's inception, over 12,000 beneficiaries have received training across various sectors. The rest of the report are presented in this package. We'll bring you that report in a subsequent bulletin. Ogun State House of Assembly, through its Committee on Public Accounts and Anti-Corruption, has continued with the consideration of the 2023 audit reports on ministries, departments and agencies of government, with a directive to the management of the State Property and Investment Corporation, OPIC, to reappear before it for the consideration of its audit report, insisting that only property and investment, only the management teams from the agencies led by political heads will be attended to by the committee. Correspondent Kolawole Osho covered this session. Details of his report are presented in this package.
The State House of Assembly Committee on Public Accounts and Anti-Corruption continued with the consideration of the 2023 audit reports on ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs of government, with the appearances of the State Property and Investment Corporation, OPIC, led by its Director of Finance and Accounts, Modupeola Ononuga. For this reason, Chairman Honorable Damilare Bello, in company of other members, directed the management of OPIC to reappear before it, insisting that only the management teams from the agencies led by the political heads will be attended to by the committee. He re-emphasized that it was mandatory for the political and administrative heads of the MDAs to always make themselves available during the consideration of the financial reports to aid accountability and transparency in the running of government. Honorable Bello also warned that the absence of some of the commissioners and heads of the agencies during the public accounts and anti-corruption exercise not only undermines the authority of the committee, but also raises concerns about transparency and accountability. He stressed that as appointed officials, they were expected to uphold the highest standards of integrity and responsiveness to the people.
This House really frown at anyone who is ignoring or refusing to attend invitation from this committee or this House of Assembly. We will not take it lightly with anyone. The Constitution is very clear that annually everyone who has connection with our fund in the states shall be invited and can be invited by Public Account and Anti-Corruption Committee of the Ogun State House of Assembly, and it is explicitly stated in the Constitution, Section 129, that this House has the power to summon anybody in any place in the whole of Nigeria. So I want to urge everybody who falls in this category to ensure compliance.
The House Committee also interfaced with the management team of the State Customary Court of Appeal, led by the Chief Registrar, Ibilola Abudu. The committee demanded more clarifications on cash books and bank reconciliation process, as well as the need to supply more supporting documents on the court's internally generated revenue and other capital expenditure lines, including the provision of its fixed assets register. Responding, the management of the Customary Court of Appeal assured that all documents requested would be supplied accordingly.
All public and private primary and secondary schools, as well as government science and technology colleges in Ogun State, are to proceed on holiday for second term 2024-2025 academic session on Monday, 7th April 2025 to Friday, 25th April 2025. A statement by the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Aribabo, stressed that schools are expected to resume for the third term 2024-2025 academic session on Monday, 28 April 2025. Parents and guardians are enjoined to take adequate care of their wards during the holiday and prepare them for immediate resumption as academic work starts without delay. Non-profit organization Iwalewa Autism Foundation has joined the rest of the world in marking World Autism Awareness Day with its Autism Conference to discuss ways of understanding autism spectrum disorder. The conference, which was held at Basic Trust International, Abeokuta, was attended by guest speakers, including experts in autism, psychology, and special education, as well as parents, caregivers, and healthcare professionals who work with children with autism. Olaide Oloye reports.
As the rest of the world marks World Autism Awareness Day every 2nd of April, Iwalewa Autism Foundation organized its first autism conference to raise awareness about autism, create an inclusive society, and promote the acceptance and inclusion of people with autism. The Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Honorable Adijat Adeleye, in a welcome address, emphasized the importance of raising awareness about autism and providing support for families affected by the condition.
There's a need to do early medical checkup. One of the things we do in the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development is that whenever a child is found, the first thing we do is to take that child to the hospital for general medical checkup. Early detection is very, very necessary and critical. Most of the things, if we discover them on time, the fact is they can be managed.
The conference featured a lineup of guest speakers, including experts in autism, therapists, and counselors, who spoke on this year's theme, Understanding Autism Spectrum Disorder, as well as other topics related to autism awareness.
Early intervention, when you give them individualized support, and to give them full support anyway, you have to include them. They can work at just right, do you know? They can just work. That is what is obtainable abroad. You see them working with their facilitator, just arranging the shelf for groceries, for this, for that, and they are paid.
Other guest speakers also highlighted the importance of early diagnosis and intervention in improving outcomes for children with autism.
It's not an illness. It just means that their brain is wired differently. So acceptance should come easy. If we as parents can accept it, I think the least the society could do is to just accept it. Encourage these parents.
The country manager, Mr. Muiwa Adinopo, representing the founder of Iwalewa Foundation, Aduke Adinopo, reaffirmed the initiative's commitment to bridging the gap in autism services and support.
We have been doing a lot of things online, and I have been going to churches, mosques, and schools to make sure that we educate people, we make them aware, and we have even made them realize the entrenched ability in these children.
The Iwalewa Autism Foundation, founded by Aduke Adinopo, is a non-governmental organization dedicating to supporting individuals with autism spectrum disorder and their families. The conference also featured a medical screening session for various health conditions, including hearing and vision impairments. Olaide Oloye, OGTV News.
A new non-profitable charitable organization, the Princess Benedicta Adifolabi Oluoto Foundation, has been launched with the primary aim of providing support and empowerment to women, the elderly, and people living with disabilities, established in memory of her mother, who passed away 35 years ago. Princess Benedicta Adifolabi Oluoto, the coordinator, Evangelist Buki Oluoto, stated that the foundation seeks to fill a significant gap. The ceremony was a 3-in-1 event featuring the launch of the foundation, an award presentation, and the celebration of the 55th birthday anniversary of Evangelist Buki Oluoto, marking God's faithfulness in our life. Margaret Okulola has the details.
After 35 years of the demise of our mother, late Princess Benedicta Adefolabi Oluoto, Evangelist Buki Oluoto has instituted a foundation in her honor, targeted at supporting and empowering women. The body will also oversee evangelism training through the Evangelical Missions Ministry, a charitable organization that preached the gospel of God through evangelistic approach, writing and printing of tracts for soul winning, as well as organizing outreach by sharing practical manual for evangelism, with step-to-step guide to fruitful evangelism. Monetary award of 1 million naira in total was presented to awardees after undergoing training in the Evangelical Missions Ministry.
I'll say thank you actually, because at least to encourage me.
Before, we're a Christian, but we don't know that there's something called strategic way to win soul, but now I know it.
The Oloto family, led by 92-year-old patriarch of the family, Alhaji Olatunde Oloto, went down memory lane on the life and times of late Princess Benedicta Adefolabi Oloto.
I do sincerely hope God will be kind enough to spare the life of everybody.
The event wrapped in three folds as family, loved ones and colleagues praised God in celebration of the 55th birthday anniversary of Evangelist Buki Oloto.
She's a lover of God, and that is why you see that everything that she's literally doing today, she wants it to be on an evangelical thing, and so that souls will be won to the kingdom of God, and that is actually what we live for.
A good woman and a lovely sister, very passionate.
She's a good leader, and she's somebody that you can really rely on. She's a philanthropist, so I so much like her. She's my mentor.
For attaining the age of 55, Evangelist Buki Oloto ascribed every moment to God's faithfulness.
What she started when she was alive, that I have also, that in fact, I can't even say how long now, that I have also imbibed. I pray that the mercy of God, who has given me the opportunity to learn from the past of my mom, kindness, will also sustain me.
Awards were presented to various categories of individuals by the Princess Benedicta Adefolabi Oloto Foundation. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
The involvement of technology in the practice of modern agriculture will enhance productivity and profitability, thereby encouraging the youth participation. These were the crux of the papers presented at the Lishabi Festival's seminar held at the Adire Hall in Arcade Palace. Matthew Shomi completes the report.
The seminar for the 38th edition of Lishabi Festival is centered around the theme chosen for the celebration this year, Back to Land, Panacea for Food Sustainability and Youth Employment. In the two papers presented on the theme, Professor Ibrahim Keshodia recommended that government should provide youth with access to land and assist them in every way possible, while Professor Victoria Ojo, on her part, spoke of the importance of the youth in building a sustainable system.
They don't want to be seen working on the farm. They want to put on shirts and use tie. As a farmer and as a youth, you can still look down. What the youth are we focusing on today is because the youth, they are vibrant, they are energetic, and they are full of innovative ideas.
Chairman of Lishabi Festival Planning Committee, Navy Captain Rashid Raji, retired, and chairman of the seminar, Professor Abayomi Shobayo, said the concept of Back to Land offers a promising solution to the challenges of food security.
By providing financial support to farmers, particularly young farmers, we can unlock the potential of our agricultural sector and create employment opportunities for our youth.
I think what we need to do at is to call on our sons and daughters.
Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Gbadebo, said Egbaland occupies a strategic position in the practice of agriculture, which could serve as examples to others.
I implore our people to support any youth interested in farming.
Commissioner for Culture and Tourism in Ogun State, Chief Sheson Fagbayi, thanked the organizers of the seminar for such a laudable initiative, where there were testimonies from participants of the previous seminars. Earlier, Oba Gbadebo inspected an exhibition stand where agriculturists based in Egbaland showcased some of their outputs in collaboration with the State Ministry of Agriculture. Matthew Shoumi, OGTV News.
The Central Bank of Nigeria declared as fake or reports that it had introduced the new 5,000 and 10,000 naira banknotes. In a post in its Instagram page on Wednesday, the bank said that the report did not originate from it. In the circulating report, quoting one deputy CBN governor, Ibrahim Tahiru Jr., said the move is aimed at reducing cash handling costs and providing Nigerians with more efficient means of conducting large transactions. On the foreign news, Israeli bombardments killed 9 people in Syria as troops conducted a raid in the south. The local government and the war monitor said, with the Israeli army saying its forces were responding to fire from militants. The shelling came after an Israeli incursion with the occupation force advancing the first time to this depth, the local government said in a statement. According to the Israeli military, its forces were conducting operations in the Tassel area near Nawal, seizing weapons and destroying terrorist infrastructure when several gunmen fired at the forces. According to a spokesperson, they responded by firing at them and eliminated several armed terrorists from the ground and from the air. There were no Israeli casualties. The Ogun State government has allocated a total of 16.5 million to various sports associations within the state, emphasizing its commitment to revitalizing sports through the upcoming National Sports Festival. The Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Tokunbo Talabi, announced this during the official presentation of subvention checks by the Ministry of Sports Development. The event, held at the Cultural Center in Abeokuta, underscores the government's strategic investments in sports development. Emmanuel Dasaolu reports.
We will win fairly and justly.
As preparations intensify for the 22nd National Sports Festival, tagged Gateway Games 2024, sports stakeholders in Ogun State gathered at the Cultural Center in Abeokuta for the presentation of subvention to sports associations. The initiative, led by the Ministry of Sports Development, aims to provide financial support for athletes' preparations, ensuring Team Ogun excels at the festival. Speaking at the event, the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Tokunbo Talabi, urged associations to utilize the funds effectively to maximize their impact.
But what this opportunity has brought to us, which His Excellency will not want us to miss, is that we will use this as the platform to set a good structure for sports in Ogun State. The governor has sanctioned the implementation of a new structure and process to drive the development of sports. What you are doing today is a test. We are doing an experimentation to say all those sports associations or sports subheads, let us see the potential that you can bring through from your ranks.
Commissioner for Sports Development, Wasiu Isiaka, urged all associations to pursue excellence ahead of the Games.
Let me emphasize that beyond recognizing individual athletes for their outstanding performance at the festival, associations that excel will also be rewarded by the government. I hope this serves as motivation for all of us to pursue excellence relentlessly.
Each of the 33 sports associations received a subvention of 500,000 naira from the state government. Several association leaders expressed their appreciation for the support.
With this fund, we will be able to do quite a lot of things in terms of training, and then being able to as well assist the coaches in order to carry out their duties.
It's an innovation in Ogun State sports history to have the state government given subvention to associations. Coming at this very crucial period of preparing for the National Sports Festival, it will give a kind of motivation.
With the government providing the necessary backing, expectations are high that the associations will reciprocate by ensuring Ogun State delivers a strong and credible performance at the festival. Emmanuel Dasaulu, OGTV News.
The picture that we have of ourselves will always determine how we respond to life.